guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another video. I told you we're gonna be more consistent with the uploads. So today I'm gonna go ahead and review for you guys something that I really didn't think that I was gonna be reviewing on my channel, but after watching, after watching the video for the launch, I realized that let me just show you guys the palette. I'm gonna be reviewing the Tati Beauty palette. The reason I'm reviewing the palette is because I watched her video about how in-depth and the reasons why she created this palette and what she wanted from it, and the swatches, all of that honestly made me like somebody who so strongly believes and loves and really can like stand behind their product like that. Just it made me emotional because it's like she couldn't picture herself like one day being like, this is me, this is everything I've ever wanted, this is what I formulated, this is what my money like has put together for me, what, you know, all of us, her subscribers, have, you know, helped her to achieve. She couldn't believe that she was putting it into words, and I was like, and that she was holding it, and I was like, that for me is like, that's something that I think most of us beauty YouTubers, like, we wish and we aspire and we hope and we dream about. And so to be part of that, I would love to be part of that. And I've supported other YouTubers collabs, and of course I wanted to support her because this is her brand. The Neutrals palette, I'm going to show you guys the inside here. So this palette is honestly so pretty. Like, when I first saw the palette, I was like, it's just a neutral shadow palette, like it's not that big of a deal. And that's why I didn't think I would be reviewing it. But when I saw, like, again, when I saw her video and I saw people swatching like these colors, and the fact that she was like, I'm gonna make a neutrals palette, but I'm gonna have it have textures, I'm gonna have it kind of be a great formula, and the thing that really like sold it over the top for me is that she mentioned something that I hate about most eyeshadows. I hate when I get an eyeshadow palette with like this kind of shade or this kind of shade, and it's just the top layer that has that shadow and that glimmer. It's really irritating because you buy that for that gleam, and when you use the top layer and then underneath there's like not as much, or it's not as pigmented, it's really disheartening. I've had that happen with a couple of palettes, and it's just it's annoying to say the least. So today on my eyes, you're gonna see me use the palette, you're gonna see the blendability. This is the eyeshadow look that I created with it. Let me tell you that I am super impressed. I do have pros and cons about this palette. Con number 2, I would say, is that it took me like a second before the shadows looked the way I wanted them to look. Like, usually, like, when I'm using, and I guess it's different because this is a pressed powder palette, but with the Norvina palette, when you put that shadow on, you like, because now I'm using that like stamping motion that like I see a lot of other like makeup beauty bloggers use, like instead of like just the windshield wiper motions, I see a lot more pigment. Whereas this one, I had really had to like build it up, and it could be because I'm a darker complexion, and so it could be that. But I will say this is like windshield wiper motion palette. Like, it is friendly for that, and I know that is kind of like an old school, not really old school, but you know what I mean, like technically like the way people do their shadows, I guess, has changed. I used to do my shadow that way, and I just learned that new technique, so it was just surprising to me to like be like, huh, I can't like just dot this and then like, you know, like pounce it in and then blend. Like, I can windshield wiper motion this the way I used to. So that was surprising to me. I have to say that I really only used I used this row and this row, and you can see I used that shadow, and that shadow, and then of course I used this shadow. The other thing that I will note is that I did not use any glitter to keep the glitter on my lids. I literally went with my finger, and you'll see me do it, and I just put it where it needed to go. There's a lot of fallout. Like, right there, you can see the glitter. I don't remember if she mentioned that like when you put the glitter on, you would need a glitter glue. It's not like a huge deal to me, but if it is a huge deal to you to get fallout, then keep that in mind. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is because I know she was saying that like these shadows should not be used near your waterline because you know, if it goes in your eye, it could be really irritating to your eye. I normally probably would have done like these shades, but I was like, no, I want to see how her deeper shades blend. So that's why I decided to use a little bit of the deeper shades to see how they would blend. And like this shadow, I've already dug into it, and you can see that even under the next layer, there's still that sparkle in there. That for me was like a big, like I said already, a huge selling point, because I love that she thought to do that. I'm gonna do some quick swatches for you guys, just so you guys can kind of see the textures and the palette. So that's real quick, that swatch, and then I'm gonna just put that right there. That's really pretty. That's more gray tone than I thought it was gonna be, because it looks really blue metallic on there. I'm gonna do one of the glitters. I'm gonna do this one. I almost put this one on my lids, but honestly, it's the middle of the day. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and like this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna put that right there. And you see, like, even when you drag it all the way, like, look, you get pigment everywhere. So not only is it a glitter, but it's a glitter with a base. And look at how, like, that's gorgeous, that reflectiveness. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch Poet, since I already dug my nail into it. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Look at that. Like, y'all saw that. But, and I don't know if the screen caught this, but there's fallout. There's like quite a bit of fallout from that shadow. Look at though. That, like, you can tell that shadow blends beautifully, because just swiping it down, there's no patchiness. So you can tell that is a beautifully pressed shadow. But when I went to go do this, I got some excess on my table, and let me show you guys, and excuse the fact that it's going to be like, you know, you see, like, that fell right there. I've got some shadow over there also from the palette. That's not a big deal to me. Let me make that perfectly clear. I don't care about fallout on, like, you know, I'd rather have like something that's really pigmented than something that like stays in the pan. I don't need it in the pan, I need it on my eyes. But to other people, that may be a bigger deal. So I'm including that in my review for that reason. So there are the 3 shadows, and then the ones that I used in my eyes, you'll see me use. Be careful with that Poet shadow. If you're gonna use it on your eyes, know that some staining may occur. But look, I wiped it, and this is just a Neutrogena wipe, and look, in 2 wipes my arm is back to the normal shade. But if you use it on your eyes and your eyes are sensitive, then there might be a probability for that to stain. So like I said, this is restocking, I believe early December, like December 14th, 15th. It's restocking. You can sign up for pre-order now. I'm gonna leave the website down below. The total with like taxes and everything comes just to about $60 for the palette with shipping from where I live. The palette itself, if I'm not mistaken, is $48. I think that is a fine price for this palette, because I have paid a lot more for palettes, and I feel like I will use this palette a ton. And I've paid more for other makeup items that I have used less. Whereas, like, and for anybody who said like, oh, it's just a neutrals palette, guess what we mostly use when you're traveling, when you're gonna do your quick, like, I need to throw this on and leave. Your neutrals palette, you've got like 5 minutes to head out the door, you're gonna use this, because this is quick. Like, the other thing that she got me with too is because I sometimes do need to be out of the house quick, or I'm running late. If you know me, I'm always running late, and I can just grab the shadows, put it on my eye, and I don't need a blending brush, and that is a lifesaver for us girls. As you can see though, one thing that like will probably drive me crazy is the fingerprints on the palette. But I have tons of NARS makeup too, so, but that will probably drive me nuts, because I've already been like doing this business where I'm like trying to rub it off, and I know it's not going to rub off, but I hope that you guys enjoyed the review. To recap, the shadows blended nicely. I love the concept behind the palette. I love that she made the shimmers true shimmers, the glitters true glitters. It's literally like pressing glitter, like you taking glitter and putting it on your eye. I think that that was a beautiful concept that she came up with. I would 100% recommend this palette if the things that I mentioned that might be cons are not cons to you. If, you know, you don't like Fallout, then don't purchase the palette. If this is gonna bug you so much that you wouldn't use this palette or want this palette in your drawer, then don't buy the palette. But for any other reason, like you have like, I need to create looks, I like neutrals, leave me alone, then yeah, buy this palette. It's got pops of color, you know what I mean? It's not like she came out with like a palette and was like, here you go guys. No, she put a little of herself into it as well, because we know that Tati loves her, you know, her purples. We know she loves her glitter. It's perfect for fall. I think this was a perfect time to launch it. This palette I honestly think is gorgeous, and the mirror is great. The mirror is huge. Look at it, look at it, look at it. I don't want to show you my mess, but look at that mirror. And it's a really, really, really nice mirror. The palette is smaller than I thought, interestingly enough. Like, I'm going to put my hand here. I have really small hands, like really, really small hands. The palette is smaller than I thought, which I absolutely love, because as much as a lot of other palettes with a lot of other colors and textures and variations like this are great, they're not travel friendly. This is a travel friendly palette. Now, I don't know how travel safe it is. Like, I wouldn't put this in, but I don't put my makeup in. I don't check my makeup. I that goes with me on my carry-on or in my personal bag. Just because it's like glitter and stuff like that, like they could be fragile. I don't know. But for sizing purposes, it's nice and slim. So it will just go with you anywhere. And so yeah, congratulations to Tati. This palette is great. I would highly, highly recommend it if you are a subscriber of her, if you are a lover of eyeshadow, if you are a lover of being extra and just having glitter all over your face at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you don't care. Buy this palette. I think this palette is great. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's cruelty-free, it's vegan. It does have mica, so if you are allergic to mica or sensitive to mica or do not like mica for the, you know, the way it's collected and mined, then this does have mica, but so do a lot of other cosmetics. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful shadows, beautiful palette. Make sure to pick it up. I will leave the date for when it's supposed to be like restocking, reshipping, but it is available for pre-order now. So if you want to pre-order this palette, 100% recommend it. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I want to thank you guys so much for your patience with me. I cannot even immensely thank you guys enough. I have every single little piece of intention of making sure that I do not fall off again, because I love you guys. I love being able to talk to you guys, and I love just makeup, man. I just want to talk about makeup all the time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, los quiero muchísimo.